Welcome to Texas Coast Sportsman. I'm your host, Aaron. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. This is more about the equipment, not the fishing. Today we're doing something a little bit different. It's not about the kayak, it's not about the boat, it's not about the fishing gear. It's about the tow rig, it's about the hauling rig. We are going to prep my 2010 Ford Explorer Trac for crossbars so that we can throw a kayak up on top of it. Now, if you own an Explorer Trac, you already know that getting crossbars, getting stock ones, not going to happen. They quit making this thing in 2010. I got this one from a neighbor. He blew up the motor, which turned into an opportunity for me and my daughter. We completely tore it down, machine shop, all the way down, stripped, rebuilt, and she's running as strong as can be now. So in order to put crossbars on top of this thing, we had to find bars that would fit. In 2006, it looks like, to 10 the last years, they changed up the actual bars, and they are a lot thicker than any universal bar will accept. So I did a little bit of digging, and I got lucky and stumbled across a guy who had a set off a 2017 Explorer that I'm going to adapt to fit this vehicle. So of course 2017 bars are longer, or shall I say wider, than will fit this vehicle. But the good news is I got to looking at them, and I can maintain the factory look by just a little bit of modification. So they have built-in adjustment on one side, as you can see right here. On the other side was held by two bolts that are tapped into the bar. Well, I got to looking at it and realized that that ridge right there runs all the way through this bar, and all they did was tap into it. So we're going to do the same. We're going to shorten the bar to fit the span and just re-tap those, slide it back on. We'll have that custom look. So the bars on the Explorer and the Explorer Tracs do use a channel that it slides into. If you can get your set of bars from a junkyard and get it all, there is a piece that slides in there, but I didn't have that, so I had to come up with some mounting hardware. For our mounting hardware, we're basically using a U or extruded nut, also known as a speed nut. That way it can turn and lock inside the channel so that it doesn't spin on you when you're tightening it up and gets resistance. So what we have is a 5/16 long extruded U-nut, also known as a speed nut, a 3/8 stainless steel washer, 5/16 washer, 5/16 lock washer, and a 5/16 3/4 inch bolt. All this hardware is stainless. The speed nut U-nut has a black coating on it, so that will help with the corrosion and rust resistance. So what we do is we position our washer and our U-nut, and we slide it in the channel. That allows us to tighten that down. For that stock fit. Now granted, I do have this one on backwards. That's the one for the other side. Just using it for demonstration purposes. Little pro tip: if you're disassembling this on the back of the Sports Trac, be careful. Very easily you can drop the hardware. It hits right here, slides, and sits now on top of your gas tank forever until it falls off. So to get started, of course, we have to pop off the cap. As you can see, I've already popped one off. So now I guess let's do the other one. So I have some nylon trim tools so that I don't tear up the gasket too badly. Metal, you probably definitely cut this gasket as well as gouge your plastic. But the trick that I found is you kind of have to get between this plastic housing and the cover. because as you kind of pick up on it, it'll want to come with it. So make sure you get between them. There we go. So it should be as simple as pro tip, don't drop tools between. Luckily it hit the ground. And there you go. So as you can see, it's right in here that those two little snaps grab, as well as that retainer right there. Now we need to determine where to cut them off. So I've got my silver marker. So let's put it into place. So we can begin to determine the length of our bar. And like I said, it does have about an inch adjustment, and we'll take that into account too. When we're looking at the bar connector, you can see there's a line in here, and that actually is kind of the wall of the plastic stopper, because there's a stop right there. So we're going to kind of use that as our mark. I'm going to put a little mark right there. And we're going to go ahead and extend it out. I'm going to put a mark right there. So there's our max adjustment. Ideally, we want as much material inside here as we can. So my intent is to cut just on this side of that line. Cut out just on that side. So for cutting, it is aluminum, and it does have some sort of coating on it. I'm not going to use a typical abrasion style angle grinder cutting disc. So I have my oscillating tool, $20 at Harbor Freight. If you don't have one of the handiest little tools I've got, as well as a wood, ceramic, metal, plastic bit that they sell. I think I paid like $8 for it. It's had a lot of use on the fiberglass on the boat, but we were going to use it to cut this aluminum too. When I do the front, I think I'll take off a little bit more than the line because it's a little snug in here. It fits, and you know, considering that we're modifying it in, it's a good fit. But I think I'll give it more adjustment on the front next time. Now here, if we wanted to, I guess we could use some self-tapping screws to drop in here to hold these. But I was looking for a little more factory finish. It seemed like a really simple answer. We just get the proper tap and the proper drill bit to go with it. installation. As you can see, I'm not putting much force on it. I'm just letting it find its way. Holes line up beautifully. And my hardware threads in. Well, that's not the right tool. My hardware threads in like it's factory. Well guys, there you have it. We have the crossbars off the 2017 Ford Explorer transplanted to a 2010 Ford Explorer Sports Trac. Got that factory look. We're all set up, ready to throw a kayak on top. So this will work with any system that has the channel in it. The Ford bars are very adaptable, as you've seen. So get out there and do something. Put a kayak on top of your car. Like, share, subscribe. I hope to see you on the water.